Namaste, Namaskar, Namaskaram, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum. For the formal welcome address, over to Pradeep.
Yeah, 9th Feb and Cohort 9. Welcome to the IIT Startups Demo Day. And immense is the interest, excitement, and people are looking forward to all the audience and our investors who are there, very much like the screen you see. It was a time where we had the physical demo days. It was a time when we had purely virtual. And as we see, people are looking at a metaverse kind of virtual days. Today, we are on a virtual demo day. But what we bring to you is immense work that has gone behind. And to take you through today's agenda for the work which is done, after the introduction, we have moderation from Murli, who's our cohort chair. And then we have the cohort presentations, which are 4 minutes each. And then wrap up by Anjan Datta with a vote of thanks. But you will have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with our startups in the breakout rooms, and all the instructions will follow during our course of the agenda. All about IIT startups. Long time back, which is 20 years plus back, there was an immense excitement in US and growth of startups, but there was also a need felt for funding. And what we realized was the funding comes not only to those who seek funding, but also how we brand ourselves well. So there started from the IITians an effort to brand ourselves and be heard and seen. So then came a program called CBS 60, where it reached the president of US, and we presented IITians as a reckoning force in the technology space. Much later, after the growth of these startups really boomed, formally, an IIT Startups program was launched in 2018. And then soon we followed with the India launch in 2021. We had the parallel cohort in India because of the large demand that we have here. And further, we are now adding many more things within our cohort in order to beef up the program with making the business happen. And this is coming through masterclass. Our mission, as we see, is because we started as a non-profit organization dedicated to educating and mentoring startup, it continues. What we do is we have a structured approach which encourages the next-gen entrepreneurs and help them by mentoring, coaching, and preparing for the startups to succeed. It is important that we accelerate the success because the life of the startup has to really mean that they get the cash flow running soon enough. On the other side, we also become forum for all IIT alumni who want to share experience and expertise and share with the startups to make them successful. It is also a way to give back to the IIT family. And not only this, we are also going ahead and building excellence by contributing to the Indian startup ecosystem and positioning with IITians as #1 unicorn builder in the world. As we go back to building the core, it is important that we are able to have a good relationship with the investors who then come and support our startups. At the same time, we do our alumni outreach, which is now more than 500,000 alumni across the world. This is supported with the industry outreach for the cohorts who come in, and we assist them to reach the industry. At the same time, we also look at both the funnels to continue to feed in our pipeline within the cohort itself, and we connect with the institute, and there are plans to work with the institute much closer. And this also comes with the discussion that we had with our cabinet minister, Piyush Goyal, and we submitted a proposal to Government of India, how we could potentially work together and fundamentally look at the startups within Startup India or associated in the method that government has had to see how we can accelerate success. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a weekly masterclass. This masterclass is open for all. Here is our core team building these core processes. And these people are working fundamentally almost 20 hours a week to make sure that we are able to get this running for the cohorts which are there, but also programming the next stage and the scaling elements. The weekly masterclasses cover different aspects of business, could be related to human resources, finance, it could be marketing, sales, just evaluating your own startup feasibility, and which may not be covered in the cohort session, but then these detailed programs help to uncover many things which probably are left part of the program. We also have our US team, which are always available, and they are supporting our startups, not only by guidance and mentoring with the fundamentals around the startup and ecosystem, but also making sure that it becomes a bridge to take our startups to US for investment and scaling. So there is a good collaboration which is established, and it will only grow now. What we believe that these efforts can only become stronger when you get involved, and there are multiple ways you could get involved as a mentor, as a coach, or be a panelist. And our team is open, and we will go through and share with you how one could really be part of this ecosystem. At the same time, you could also play a much deeper role to be part of the IIT startup team. And as an investor, you could look at investing in a cohort. Plus, last but not the least, spread the good word to make sure that the successes happen more frequently. You may log on our site to get more details. With this, I would now welcome Murli, who's our cohort chair, to take us through the program.
Welcome, Pradeep. That welcome address informed all of you as what happens as IIT startups. But what we are assembled today is cohort 9. Out of 78 odd applicants, 8 teams were shortlisted to go through an intensive program. What did they go through? They went through weekly sessions. If it's Thursday, it has to be IIT Startup Sessions Day. And in those sessions, which were partly workshop and partly feedback oriented, there were shared formats of GTM, sales funnel, funding models, which helped them fine-tune their business pitch to make it ready for investors. There were also masterclasses on Saturday in areas largely of marketing and finance, so that they get a much stronger overview. There were role plays so that they become sensitive to what is going around them. And then we had one-on-one mentors with an expert speak. Who were these mentors? We believe the 75 odd experts who acted as coaches, panel experts, mentors, masterclass teachers, who came from a variety of fields, from corporate like Alok Goyal and Gautam, who actually heads a full-fledged hospital, from IIT heads like Anuradha Shankar, NRIs like Shiva and Ashok, government connect people like Ajay Mutreja, all the way to Niti Aayog, investors like PKG and Raja, and finance experts like Ramakrishnan and Sanjeev. This ensures that they have a continuous feedback. The whole proposal becomes solid, and therefore they're investment ready. Short of due diligence, they've gone through it all, which makes it much easier for an investor to place bets on them. What will you see from them today? You'll have a minimum of 3 options today to interact. First, there will be a pitch of precisely 4 odd minutes. If you're interested, you can make a connection with them on Calendly link. All of them will wait back in the breakout rooms to answer your questions, demonstrate products, raise your curiosity, so that you get, in the space of 2 hours, multiple options to meet them and discuss. We encourage the stakeholders, particularly the investors, to utilize this opportunity. And who are these famous 8? 3 of them are from the consumer field: Beagle, Homely Energy, and Zelt. 3 technology: Grids Entry, SimYog, iShield.ai. And 2 lesser known fields: property and legal. We will now begin with the pictures. Domestic health has always been an issue. It's a disorganized sector. Can we organize a disorganized sector with the help of technology? Startup Beagle, Shiv Shankar.
Thank you, Murli. Hello, all. If you live in a typical Indian household like me, then you probably wake up and pray for 2 things. 1, that your family remains healthy, and 2, that your house help turns up. Both very, very crucial for peace of mind. So what do you do when your regular house help does not turn up? What about other situations, such as when your senior citizen parent needs immediate assistance and you are away? A last-minute work call disrupts your plan to walk your dog, or you need help at your kid's birthday party. Today, you probably reach out to friends, family, and security guards to get hold of someone. We all know that this process is not reliable, and often you just don't find the person at the time you need. We at Beagle want to organize this disorganized sector and solve the problem by using on-premise teams and technology. Beagle is a hyperlocal platform catering to gated communities to get on-demand and instant help with chores and errands. We set up stations within these communities manned with helpers who can be booked by customers using our mobile app. Once booked, our system auto-assigns suitable helpers who then attend to the request. Upon completion, customers give feedback and make payment. Our value proposition stems from being on-site, which enables us to ensure quick turnaround time, sometimes in a matter of minutes. We are able to service tasks of short durations and maintain high reliability with reduced chances of cancellations. Most importantly, we verify and train our helpers so that customers can be assured of quality services. We are the only tech-based service provider who is on-site catering to these ad hoc needs. None of our competitors tackle all of these chores, and most definitely not with the quick turnaround we guarantee. Over the past 6 quarters, we have completed more than 65,000 jobs. While most were for domestic help like sweeping and utensil washing, customers got creative and used our services for help in prepping for puja or finding their lost pet. Some learnings that we have: 65% of the service requests were for immediate help. On an average, our services were requested 18 times a year. We are now seeing a customer retention of 80%. In fact, we are becoming so popular in certain campuses that customers are subscribing to our services upfront for weeks together. We are going after a market of $2.5 billion, and our go-to-market strategy involves setting up stations within selected gated communities and then developing a hub-and-spoke network around these. Customers are charged based on service time. Our helpers are paid a combination of fixed and variable pay on a monthly basis. The steady income, combined with benefits such as overtime, paid time off, upskilling, and insurance, ensures helper retention. Over the next 2 years, we will focus on improving utilization and expanding our service portfolio to grow our gross margin to 40%. We will also launch and stabilize our operations in Pune. We expect to hit profitability by Q4 2026. We are raising 8 crores for the next 24 months to invest in customer acquisition, technology to boost efficiencies, and to increase our service base. A little about us. Mukesh and I met at IIT Kharagpur and have 20 years of experience of building and scaling businesses. My experience has been more in operations, while Mukesh's forte is product strategy. To conclude, we are Beagle, and we provide quick and hassle-free services for gated communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv. That was Beagle. To the audience, you'll find a pop-up on your screen. Just 2 questions. We recommend that you answer them. This will help Beagle get a feedback as to what you're thinking. Don't worry, we'll not hold you on to your commitment. And certainly don't worry if you say no. Our teams are used to any kind of feedback. In the chat box, you'll also find a calendar link where you can fix appointments. You'll also find a Zoom link for the breakout room. Use them so that you can increase your interactions with Beagle. Now let's move on. Energy security is the topic. Solar energy is the solution. What if there was a disruptive solar water heater? Home Energy, Praneeth.
Thank you, Murli. Hi, all. Let me share our plan to disrupt the solar rooftop industry with the world's best solar water heater. Solar water heaters have looked the same for the last 30, 40 years. As a result, this outdated technology hasn't kept up with changing customer requirements. And now it's become a burden for most homes. It takes up too much rooftop space, and these systems lack durability because of rust and leakage issues, and they spoil the aesthetics of homes. We address all of these issues by completely reimagining the system. Ours is a single compact unit that occupies just 1/4 the rooftop space as a conventional system. And it's got a self-contained tank within itself that has the same capacity, temperature, pressure capability as a metal tank, but it's made out of a food-grade polymer. So it never corrodes, giving them class-leading durability and warranty. And because it's a single sleek panel, it can be integrated into the architecture of the building, solving the aesthetics issue as well. And to top it off, it's cost-effective, and it's a universal design that can be installed on any kind of a rooftop across the world. And that's why we filed for Indian as well as international patents as well. And there's more. It's actually not just a single product. We're actually developing a product platform, and that can be used to build more innovative products. So the same platform will be used to build India's first 2-in-1 system that generates both hot water and backup power. And going forward, a 3-in-1 system that additionally generates drinking water as well, all from the same sleek platform that we're building now. And this is how we plan to disrupt the solar rooftop industry with our pipeline of first of its kind innovative products. Initially, though, we're going to be focused on our first product, the tankless solar water heater. The strategy for this product has been crafted based on our experience of more than 50 projects in this field, and also validated by talking to more than 40 customers in the segment. So the plan is to launch this product in the B2B market, targeting builders in these 3 cities for phase 1. And for phase 2, we're going to expand into 10 other cities and enter the B2C market as well. And for phase 3, we're going to expand internationally. And that is our plan to build a 100 crore company in the next 5 years. We're confident of achieving all this because we've made a lot of progress already. We've signed on more than 14, some of the biggest builders in Bangalore for our demo units. And we have a world-class supply chain already in place to serve these customers. And we have a financial partner, Grip Invest, in place to help us with our cash flows and working capital requirements. And we are finalizing a contract manufacturing deal with Enfroze based out of Bangalore. And to top it off, we've recently closed a round of investment from Startup India Fund, and which is going to help us build and deliver those demo units to the customers. Once we launch the product, our revenue is going to come from direct sales, outbound sales to these builders. Sales cycle is typically 6 to 12 months. And in these organizations, the purchase and technical heads are the decision makers. And each order from these builders is roughly going to be about 50 lakhs. And at scale, we're going to have a healthy margin of 46%, so we can build a solid balance sheet. Initially, though, we would need infusion of capital, and that's why we're looking to raise 4 crores. And this is the approximate breakup of the use of funds broke up by function. And this is going to give us a runway of 2 years. I want to introduce the team. Me and Harsha are graduates from IIT Madras, 2007 batch. I have a lot of experience and patents in green energy technologies. I also have 8 years experience leading product development teams in the US working for Cummins. Harsha has a lot of general management experience at the Tata Group, and he also specializes in commercialization of new technology. And this is where together we think we are the best team to build this company and build these disruptive products. I want to end on a slightly philosophical note. Homeby Energy is deeply inspired by these superheroes of Indian science. We want to walk in their footsteps. We want to build world-class innovative products right here in India and make those products win in the global playground. And we're looking for ambitious partners to join us along on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Praneeth. The pop-up is on. Request you to give your replies. The Calendly link is also on. Go ahead, fill it up. And so is the breakout room available. We'll give you a few seconds for you to give feedback, fill up Calendly link, and go to the breakout room. Moving on. Cybersecurity is a matter of global concern. It's a topic which affects entire sub-areas across functions, including grids. But what is the solution? Here's Dr. Devika Jay of Grids Entry proposing one.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. This is Devika from Grids Entry. Power is the mother of all economic activities, and it is difficult to imagine the impact of power outage even for an hour. Power systems over the past few decades has such attacks can
Uli, shall I take it over?
Yes, please do.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I heard? Hello?
Yeah.
We lost you for a few seconds, doesn't matter, just start.
Hello?
No issues.
Yeah, so in December 2015, the world witnessed the first power outage due to cyber attacks, and the impact was enormous. Such attacks have been found in many critical infrastructure. And at closer home in April 2022, China intruded power systems in Ladakh twice. If the problem is so critical, why don't we have a solution? This is because complex network topology in power systems with hybrid utility environment. And above all, encryption is not allowed because of the time-critical nature of this infrastructure. Prevailing solutions are to follow cyber best practices, surveillance and detection, and this is only after you have been hacked, which makes it grossly insufficient. The grid entry is here. Patent has been applied.
Rajesh, take over.
Yeah, I will do that. 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, carry on. Just continue.
Yeah. So we were talking about the prevailing solution. So cybersecurity is best practices and surveillance are the only options available right now, and they are grossly insufficient because they occur only after you have already been hacked. So Grid Entry will secure power grid against cyber attacks. We are substation domain experts already. We will focus on electric power substations with our unique defensive deception technology with AI and ML, for which a patent has already been applied. Our offerings will include, firstly, to identify vulnerable network points, and then an on-premise security product. And then we have a 24/7 emergency response team with forensic capabilities. So how do we protect? We have these substations, and we would like to put a high interactive decoy in the middle to make sure that the substation is protected and the intruder is diverted towards something else where we analyze his behavior. So what is our value proposition? The most reliable cybersecurity product suite for your power grid, and Grid Sentry shall ensure uninterrupted power supply and prevent threat to life. We do have competition, but all of our competition or most of our competition is in the broad OT area. We are the only ones who are focused on power, and our differentiators are defensive deception and a 24/7 SME ERT. The technology readiness level, we have already completed our POC with TRL 1 to 4. And now we are on to our MVP, which we hope to complete by 2023 Q4. We will focus on traction, utilities, and industries as segment. Although world is an opportunity, but we will start with US and India, where we already have presence. This is how our roadmap looks like. We'll start with the reference creation in Q1, Q2 of 23, and then go on to signing up strategic partners, and then finally onto the product sale. 7.1 billion is our TAM, and it is growing by the day. We will be breaking even by 2025, and we'll have some significant growth and profits by 2026. That's our roadmap. For this, we need $2 million to complete our accelerated MVP and initiate our marketing in the US. Majority of the money will be spent on development and marketing. Devika J is a PhD from IIT Madras and has 7 years experience in Indian Power Grid Corporation. I'm also from IIT Madras, and I'm already an entrepreneur. These are our partners. We are incubated at IISc Bangalore, IIT Kanpur, and VJTI Bombay, and IIT Startups is our accelerator. So to sum it all up, it's a challenging problem. There is no potential solution in sight. There's a proven urgent market demand. We are a strong and balanced team. Our POC is ready, and a patent has already been filed. On the right are our coordinates. Here signing off for Grid Sentry, Rajesh and Devika. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. It was as good as it gets for a substitute to come in and play a great innings. And I only hope that Devika's stuttering was not because somebody did a cyber attack. Anything is possible, right? But now you do have a pop-up. Please fill up. And we encourage you to go to the breakout room, for this is a topic of national interest. You also have a Calendly link with which you can fill up appointments. And we'll give you a few more seconds, either for the breakout room or for the Calendly link. Coming in next. AI has moved on from people like me who thought AI was Air India to AI and versions of AI. There are portions which are relevant to HR, including HR communication. But can you have a content creation for employee communication using AI? Keshavan at iShield.ai. You're on mute.
Thank you, Murali sir. With the explosion of online communications, especially after the pandemic, HR teams across the globe are in constant stress to create thousands of pieces of content to attract and retain talent. While they create this content, they also need to make sure that the content is brand specific, it is personalized for the context, and is bias-free. AI can help do this. And I'm Keshavan, co-founder and CEO of iShield.ai. I'll walk you through how we are solving this problem. Companies today across the globe create these talent communications manually. What does this mean is a medium-sized company in the US spends almost $1 million a year in creating this content. It's very slow. Typically, they take 4 weeks to create a piece of blog or even a piece of an assessment. They cannot scale. And even after doing all of this, problems of bias and errors occur in the content, causing serious embarrassment or loss of customers, like it happened in the case that we showed here in the example here. Now, when enterprises want to use AI, even the all-powerful ChatGPT, needs additional layers of supervision. Today, Google lost $100 billion in market value because of inaccuracy in the barred recommendation. So this, what we bring to the table is the supervision layer on top of the AI. So the recommendation that comes out is brand specific, it's context specific, and it is verified for facts and biases. At the same time, we put this in a platform so that it can scale to 100x or 1000x, and it will function in line as people create content. So how does the product work? Users need to either answer a few simple questions, or they can create a content on their own, and there is language insight, there is readability insight, there is verification and bias insights that they will get online as they are creating the content. Step 2, they can also create multiple versions of this content. So they are able to take this and create a social media post. They're able to create a referral email all at a click of a button, which means that companies save almost 60% of the cost. Their turnaround time now is in weeks, not in weeks, in hours, and they are able to scale into whatever unlimited scale that they want. So our moat comes from the proprietary data and AI models, which we built on top of large language models. And this creates a unique solution for every brand that we deploy. And we have filed for patents. We have papers published in this space. We've been recognized by industry bodies for the technology that we've created. We launched our product in September. We have 3 paid customers, $40,000 of revenue. On an average, a user uses our product for checking 200 pieces of content in a company per week. We have a very solid pipeline of the who's who brands globally who are in a pilot phase right now. What we want to do is to scale this momentum 15x. We are going after a $150 billion market, and to completely disrupt that market using our AI solution, we are asking for a $1.5 million funding. We will be profitable in 20 months. Our target is to be a $2 million revenue company in 24 months, operating at a gross margin of 70%. Our core team, we are 2 co-founders from IIT Bombay. I'm Keshavan. I launched Amazon Prime Video in India, and Anand has 10+ patents in AI. Our AI team is led by a PhD in linguistics and bias studies, Sridevi, and our product is led by Anjur. We are a total 8-member team. Please join us in the AI content generated revolution for talent communications. Thank you.
Thank you, Keshavan. The pop-up is on. Encourage all of you to give some feedback. Also use the Calendly link. It will help you. And the breakout rooms are available. People are eagerly waiting for you. Give you a few seconds for you to fill it up. And then we will move on. Legal is always an issue. Too many documents, too much time. Can you have some kind of technology to speed up the whole subject? Is it possible at all? SaaS technology? Legal Exchange, Ashish Tripathi.
Thank you, Murli sir. Once in my rent agreement, instead of my wife's name, it was 32-year-old apartment owner lady's name was mentioned. That was not it. The bill I received for this work was stating legal services fee towards the petition, divorce petition. Believe me, that was a kind of complete domestic chaos to me. And this was nothing but the effect of manual processes at legal firms. Hello everyone, this is Ashish Tripathi from Legal Exchange. I'll take you through the problem and solution in detail. To elaborate the problem a little deeper, it's day-to-day manual processes and the documents. And these things hits legal firms by 35% in terms of productivity and revenue leakage. The interesting part is lawyers are considered as one of the most intelligent working professionals, but 40% of their work remain unbilled in a financial year. Well, all this is about the problem. Where is the solution? That's where Legal Exchange comes into picture. Legal Exchange is a vertical SaaS technology platform for the law firms. We solve the problem in 2 steps. First is the workflow automation. Legal Exchange brings multiple apps in single sign-on. With that, we automate 100% of their workflow. And the result is 30% boost in productivity and the revenue. We are not limited just to the workflow automation. Our AI and ML solution for the documents not only help them to organize their document better, but also helps them to generate, analyze, and synthesize documents just in clicks. That's not only fast, but extremely accurate as well. In terms of our current traction, this financial year, we'll be closing our books with an annual revenue of 1.2 crores. We have 1,000 plus paying users and 25 plus different clients. Most of our clients are decent law firms in India with pan-India presence and few in UAE. A little about the competitive landscape. Most of our competitors are from United States and very few from India. And the good part is like we have clients who shifted from almost these vendors to Legal Exchange, and the reason behind they find Legal Exchange very easy to use, comprehensive, best in terms of customer support. Plus our AI and ML capabilities, the deep tech capabilities strongly differentiate us from these, where some of these are still legacy. If I talk about the market size, as of now, it's $30 billion and expected to become 70 by 2032. And the most interesting part, APAC market is itself one of the fastest growing market. A little about our journey and the growth plan. We are in a startup that's growing year on year. This financial year, we have grown 60% in comparison to the last financial year. With this, we are all set to scale, take it to the next level. In the next 2 years, we intend to become a 16 CR company with a net profit margin of 45%. And in the next 5 years, we intend to become a 50 CR company. Well, in order to achieve this scale and growth, we look forward to raise 2 crores. And we plan to invest that amount, first to create Legal Exchange brand, and next to invest on our product engineering, especially on the deep tech part, AI and ML. We are a team with 100 plus years of cumulative experience. We have 2 advisors for 2 co-founders with 20 years of experience in product engineering, and 1 mentor who is an angel investor as well. So I'm sure like this would be giving you a confidence that we are the right team to take it to the next level. So that's all from my side for today. Legal Exchange is disrupting disruptions for legal tech industry, and we are a journey to become #1 in our category. Thank you so much for your attention. We are looking forward to welcome you in the breakout room. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tripathi. There was a startup for legal. The pop-up is there. So the calendar links. So the breakout room links. 3 options for you. Recommend that you fill it up so to get a chance to interact with this team even more. Moving on. Property is another documented area. Disorganized. Can you organize a disorganized market with the help of technology? Can you come to a position when you just give the key and move on? Gopal from PropDial.
Thank you, Murli. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gopal Misra, the co-founder of PropDial. As you all know, property investment is one of the biggest investment by any individual. it can provide them a financial security, get the ROI, but if it is not managed properly, it can also lead to a lot of hassles and the compromise on ROI. In that case, the question is where to dial, and the answer is prop dial. Let us look into the problem statement deeper. So a property owner looking for a rental income, his concern starts how to prepare my property as a rent ready, and then how to leverage various channels to get the tenant, how to make sure that the tenant has a good background, and then addressing any damage and repair issues while the tenant is staying or otherwise living. And then at the end of the day, while the tenant is leaving out, how to amicably settle down the security deposit. This cycle continues. And as the numbers on the right-hand side states, this is a huge market opportunity, highly fragmented, largely unorganized, and required to be organized. As there is no solution or single entry platform to address all these into one. PropDial as a technology platform has taken to address this solution, to address this problem, and ease out the journey or the connect from the homeowner to tenant. How we are doing it? We have integrated ourselves to various platform providers. Also, a lot of other digital service providers who help us to do the third-party verifications and the background checks. We are also bringing the property brokers as part of our platform. We have also onboarded service partner as a platform. So what we are doing, we are creating a large ecosystem platform, and that too, on top, we have the ground staff team as a part of dedicated operation fleet. If you look into the value proposition side, so after, let's say, onboarding the property from the property owners, we immediately assign them a dedicated property manager with a promise of zero hassles, lower charges, and higher ROI. How we do that? By unlocking the various functions from the PropDial platform. Looking into the market size, as we all know, Indian real estate market is a huge market opportunity. It is going to be $1 trillion market by 2030. But in our context, the time is $23 billion, highly focused on top urban cities, and our obtainable market is $2 billion worth. The revenue model that we have picked up is actually a blended model with the subscription and commission mix. So from the owner side, we charge property management service as annual subscription fees while we onboard them into our platform. And then there are other like maintenance, short-term rental, long-term rental, where we make a commission or the revenue sharing. On the tenant side, we take the similar commissions on their rentals. There are more upcoming verticals planned in the futures. Our customer acquisition and growth is a mix of in-house and customer-driven approach. On the customer-driven side, we have already signed the Housing, MyGate, ICICI Bank as some of the top logos from the ecosystems. There are more in the pipelines and under discussions. If you look into the competitive landscapes, as a service provider with PMS focus and top urban cities presence, PropDial is the one who is leading the pack. Our revenue journey. So we started our operation in 2017-18, closed it at 12 lakhs, and we have grown so far more than 16x despite COVID, despite the lockdowns and the business that has been affected. We closed 21-22 at 1.9 crore, and we are expecting to close the current year at 3 crore. And with that, lot of learnings and the understandings, we have a clear strategy for making 100 times growth from here with a good profit margin. For achieving that, there is a fuel that we are looking to. We have already raised seed and angel round of 5 crores in the past. We are looking to raise 10 crore at a pre-money of 50 crore. That will give us a 4 times scaling within next 12 to 15 months. The fund is planned to be deployed largely on the team expansion and the operation, and also strengthening the technology and the marketing and partnerships. Who we are, the core team behind it, me and Vinay. Vinay, both are from engineering background. Vinay also has experience from the earlier PropTech companies. I bring the experience of scaling the business from 0 to 1. By now, we are a team of 40 plus strong PropDials. We are also being followed and covered by various media channels. And before I sign out, I invite you to be part of this PropTech revolution and be part of this 100x growth story that we are unfolding over the next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gopal. That was Prop Dial. And with Prop Dial, you have a pop-up on your screen. 2 simple questions. I encourage you to answer them. This will help the teams have better feedback. Also encourage you to have Calendly links. And the Zoom link for breakout room is also there in case you want more questions. We'll give you a few seconds now so that you can fill up the 3 questions or the links. And then we move on. Electronics hardware is large. It's technical. Testing it is even more so. What if we can have a virtual EMI EMC laboratory which simulate possibilities and saves billions? Dipanjan from Simyog.
Good afternoon. Perhaps you have seen some of these media articles. Toyota documents show electromagnetic interference as possible root of sudden acceleration problem. Or maybe you have seen the Honda one or the one from IEEE Spectrum. The bottom line is that with the increasing percentage of bill of materials in electronics and electrical components, passing electromagnetic compatibility between these components is becoming a big challenge for system suppliers in automotive, aerospace, or commercial domain. We are Simyog Technology. We are an enterprise computational software product company. We solved the EMC problem through early detection. Let's dive into the problem a little bit.
Hi, Dipanjan. Hello. Can you hear me?
No issues, continue. You're on mute. No issues.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No issues.
So we were talking about the problem. So today electromagnetic compatibility is handled at the late stage after the design cycle is complete in a physical laboratory. Problem is it fails around 50% of the time, the first time in testing, leading to iterations, leading to 6 to 12 months loss for the tier 1 and the semiconductor. For the OEM, if the problem is not found in field testing, this may result in recall or retrofit. How do we solve this problem? Well, we provide computational software products which act as virtual EMI/EMC laboratory, and that can be used anywhere in this design cycle to come up with an optimized hardware and also to know how it is going to behave when you take it to an EMC laboratory, therefore leading to first-time pass in EMC compliance. This leads to at least 6 months saving in time to market. If you think of a product shelf life of 4 years, this results in a 10% saving in a $1 trillion industry. Our products are sold in an annual license framework. We calculate our total available market as $3 billion spread across the different industries like automotive, aerospace, IT com, etc. Today, however, we are focused heavily in the automotive space, in particular in power electronics, because power electronics is the one that's causing these electromagnetic emissions the greatest. Our customers include semiconductor companies like Texas Instruments, tier 1 companies like Bosch, OEMs like Mercedes-Benz. The Indian government labs, DRDO, one of them RCI, is also a customer. Over the last 3-4 years, we have grown 2x in revenue, hitting $1 million in revenue in this year with $850,000 in expenses. Our revenue comes 60% from outside India, and our goal is to be on a similar trajectory to reach $10 million by 2025. We had taken an investment of $1 million from Bosch and IdeaSpring in 2019. With that, we are profitable today, and we want to invest heavily in our product development and an aggressive go-to-market in order to capture more of this market by 2025. Therefore, we are looking for a Series A initiative of $4 million, out of which 2.5 is either committed or in discussions with a strategic. So the ask is 1.5 out of this $4 million. The proceeds of this fund will go towards product development, having a SaaS solution of our products, sales, and application support. This is Team Simyog. I run the company with the help of industry veterans like Pradeep Datta, Krishnan Ramaswamy. Our product teams, HPC engine models, are handled by young stars, Anand, Hari, Anto. Joe is in US handling the US business. Anup leads our customer success. Raj is an advisor. Throughout our journey, we have been fortunate to receive several industry recognition like the NASSCOM and the Tech 30 Award. We are part of IIT startups, also part of Qualcomm and Intel startup program. To summarize, we are Simyog Technology.
Okay. That was a Simyog. We can have the pop-up. Strong in technology, meant as a test for the electronic software, virtual testing, presented by an incredibly strong team, incubated at IIT everywhere, Qualcomm, supported by Bosch, supported by IT startups. And now you have the Calendly link for you to fill up. You also have the breakout room where people will be there. And I'm sure you've had pop-up time to fill that up as well. I'll wait for a few seconds for you to fill up the Calendly link. And then we move on. Food, clothing, shelter are seen as the basics for human life. But something is even more basic, and that is health. How can we have a healthcare system which is instant, 24/7, and care at home? Monica from Zelt.ai.
Hi, everyone. I'm sure with COVID, you all have experienced how overburdened our healthcare system is. In fact, you'll be very surprised to know that not just during pandemic, but even today, we have 10 times less doctors than what we actually need. Doctors are extremely overburdened with no time and resources for outpatients who actually need long-term care. On the other side, if you actually look at patients, they have endless questions. Is the symptom normal? Should I go back to the doctor? What should I eat? What does this report mean? And so on and so forth. The only option they have is try to get in touch with the doctor or the hospital if they have the number. Even in that case, 80% of time, it just doesn't work. It takes them multiple calls over 1 to 2 days to get the help. And that not only spoils patient experience, but also leads to poor patient outcomes due to delayed interventions. And that's the problem we are solving at Zelt. We are building a very powerful technology, yet very easy to use, using artificial intelligence. We have an app for doctor and a WhatsApp chatbot for patients. And I'll explain you how it works. We partner with the doctors, and doctors team can simply invite patient by the WhatsApp number. As the patient goes home, anything, whatever question they may have, they can simply ask in the chatbot in Hindi as well as English. Our AI/ML algorithms take into account multiple clinical parameters and understands where the patient is in their journey, accordingly analyzes the data and guides the patient. All this data goes back to doctors in real time, and if anything is alarming, doctor and patient both are alerted. With this, patient not only get automated answers and improve experience, but also improve patient outcomes. And for doctors, it reduces their call burden along with giving them very useful clinical and business insights. We have proven our outcomes in our initial studies with some of the top Indian hospitals. Some of them are PGI, AIIMS, and Medanta. We are the only one to have 2.5x of patient retention as compared to industry standard. As of today, we are able to handle 80% patient queries automatically, all clinically validated. And that saves around 40 minutes of doctor's time on an average. If you're wondering what's new here, well, there are a lot of digital health companies that are coming up, but we are the only one in this region which is able to provide you instant care, everything clinically validated, all while keeping your doctor in loop. Okay, let's talk business. How do we make money? Well, we are primarily a B2B2C company, and in India, patients pay and we do a revenue sharing with the doctor. Just like any other healthcare startup, we do have initial longer gestation period before we see a hockey stick growth in order to build the trust and prove the credibility. In phase 1, we are focusing on Bangalore and Delhi region, and then we'll be moving on to more cities. We have a perfect team with the right experience to make Xealth leader in this space. I'm Monica, co-founder and CEO of Xealth. With PhD in medicine, I have 10 years of experience leading various healthcare projects, both in hospital as well as a pharma company setting. Dheeraj Mundra, he's the co-founder and CTO. He's the IT alumni. He has 7 years of experience building various AI/ML products, with 3 years particularly leading the product development in Sectable, one of the healthcare startup before he started Xealth. We have previously raised a pre-seed investment from some of the world's renowned investors, including Y Combinator, to build the product and do the clinical validation. And now we are raising next round of 1.5 million to scale to 1 million ARR in next 18 months. Majority of this would be used to build a strong leadership team in order to scale the business. And with that, I would like to end by sharing our very ambitious vision. We want to reach to 1 billion people in next 5 years and make sure that we are making healthcare instantly accessible, yet very, very personalized. If you can get food, right, entertainment, everything instantly, healthcare is the very basic need that we should have access to instantly. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica. Excellent thinking. Healthcare for 1 billion people in 5 years, instantly. Pop-up is there. Please give your feedback. Encourage you to do so. Calendly link is posted in the chat box. And the breakout room link is also there. Don't miss this opportunity. You have a good chance to talk to all the 8 teams in this very short period. To move on, I hand over the proceedings to Anjan.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to have all of you here with us. And it's been quite a journey for IIT startups in the last 4 years. So far, IIT startups has incubated over 120 startups. And out of these 120, 9 have got acquired and more than 45% have got funded at various stages. Today, first, let me begin by thanking all the VCs and the angels who've come for this wonderful presentations by these very promising startups. They've been curated and they've also gone through a lot of process to make them come to the stage. My next would be, I would like to thank the wonderful work which has been put up by all our mentors, the expert panelists who have spent a lot of time in reaching out and hand-holding and really maturing the startups to where they are today. We do expect at least 6 to 7 of them, actually all of them to be of great interest to all of you, but we do expect a lot of interest from many of our VC community today to take the next step and the next stage onwards. With that, I would like to thank the members of the press who are there today with us. And the breakout rooms are now open. I'll just take a minute on how you can go through them. This is the landing page of our demo day. You have the IITstartups.org, Demoday, Cohort 9, and India C9W8. That means Cohort 9 for the 8-week program. So once you come there, you can then, this is the main stage of all the 8 pitches. And from there, you can scroll down. And if you go down, you'll find the listing of all the startups, all the 8 startups. And it also gives the links to their breakout rooms as well as to the calendar links of each of the startups. And you can reach out and reach to them and take the discussion forward. The startup members are already there in the breakout rooms, and they're waiting for all of you to take things forward. And with that, I would like to say thanks to everybody in the team for the Startup India from IIT Startups India. Our team will be available on this webinar chat room. Chats will be open now. Please feel free to reach out to any of us. And we would also urge my esteemed guests to be part of IIT Startups, either as a mentor, or you can also apply for our Cohort 10, which is now open. We are looking at applications from new startups for our Cohort 10, which should start in next 2-3 months' time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. You can contact us this way. Team India at IITstartups.org, and my number and Tribunal's number are given below. Thanks.